rise. All my money multiply. I open my third eye. Now I'm higher than the sky. Niggas hate, I don't know why. And she bad, but she so shy. Don't know why she think I'm gon' lie. I ain't like these other guys. Fucking with my Migo drug ties. Ever looked into a thug's eyes? Out here trying to dutch it one time. I'm still trying to have a fun time. But that money always on my mind. I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? I need to know, 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 I need to know. How far we gon' go? Would you fuck with me? I was broke. Real low, was you a hoe? Think you world, you deserve a throne. I'll be in another zone. I still got a long way home. They confiscate my iPhone, cause I was trapping out my home. I'm like a light magic carpet. Finna do a lecture out at Harvard. Niggas claim they eating, but they starving. I'm a Martian like Marvin. Ain't Italian, but I'm Marvin. Out in Gotham, I be robbing. I won't take that whole shopping unless she tell me that she topping. I've been serving what you coughing. All these rappers name dropping. My nigga, you ain't popping. It ain't nothing that can stop me. I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? I need your energy, I need your vibe. Know how you feeling inside. I need to know, is you really down to ride? Yeah. Don. Royal. Going long. Just watch the way my diamonds glisten. I staying low so people thinking that I'm squinting. Think I ain't been getting cash? What? Bitch, you tripping. Cause I'm all about my bucks like I'm Jameis Winston. Like I'm Jameis Winston. Like I'm Jameis Winston. I staying low so people thinking that I'm squinting. Like I'm Jameis Winston. Like I'm Jameis Winston. Bitch, I'm all about my bucks like I'm Jameis Winston. First round pick and I'm coming out of Florida State. Drop top speeding through your city with that Florida plate. Rookie of the year, them boys can't deny me. Hoes trying to get beside me on IG. Violate, but my money stacking tall though. Yo chick said she wanna kick it like Ronaldo. My pocket swole like a cracker won the lotto. Got me then my shooters run up on your semi-auto. 40 on me like I'm Harrison Barnes. Fire the cannons and bring me alarm. Got plenty of grass like I live on a farm. Plus never lucky, don't need any charms. Look at the stats, man, I get it prolific. Calling a play, I ain't needing to give it. Calling on y'all while you sitting all through it. Think up all up with it, stay optimistic. Just watch the way my diamonds glisten. I staying low so people thinking that I'm squinting. Think I ain't been getting cash? Bitch, you tripping. Cause I'm all about my bucks like I'm Jameis Winston. Like I'm Jameis Winston. Like I'm Jameis Winston. I staying low so people thinking that I'm squinting. Like I'm Jameis Winston. Like I'm Jameis Winston. Bitch, I'm all about my bucks like I'm Jameis Winston. My girl Latina when you see her. I got a dime, her name Karina's best friend named Yasmina. These hoes always beaching, so they live out by Madeira. They stay wet like Aquafina. I stay splashing, that's procedure. Robo rookie, watch the way I read your waist. Them flags up, I'm in the red zone. Throwing work, Evans catch it in the end zone. I heard your own girl put you in the brand zone. Got these Spanish girls twerking to that reggaeton. Give a fuck about the defense. I just made a check. Try to pressure luck. That's just disrespect.
Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? It is your boy, Big D, a.k.a. Domosaurus Rex. Yes, the big secret is out, finally. I am one and the same. Welcome to the first ever edition of the Big D Show here live on Twitch TV on the Domosaurus Rex Twitch channel. We got shut down over at negdog.com. We do have the site back up. But instead of having to go through these new world order platforms and schemes, we're just going to go live and direct to you. So you can find this live on my Twitch where you are at right now. Or if you are watching on YouTube, go follow the live stream, subscribe, share, join the notification squad down below. And welcome back to the show. I am super excited. It is week 1 of the NFL football season. As I'm sure you can tell, I'm super excited. I've got all my Chicago Bears gear on for tonight. Of course, Sunday night football, Bears, Packers, the over 100-year-old rivalry. And boy, am I excited for today's big slate of action, because as you can see, my partners above here, DraftKings, FanDuel, both ready to make some big money today. We will be giving you my DFS lineups. But once again, like I said, I do have to shout out the rest of my sponsors and affiliates. First of all, you will see here we are live on the website, domosaurusrex.com. This is my personal website where you can find all of the latest and greatest involving my music, involving all my shows. Big shout out to Coach, big shout out to negdog.com. And yeah, go follow my music on Spotify, SoundCloud. You can go ahead and donate directly to my PayPal account. And then, of course, be sure to use my sponsors and affiliates as well. It's an easy way to support the stream, me personally, so that I can go ahead and continue to bring you all the latest and greatest content. Of course, we got the dog pound in the background today, as always. Shout out to my dogs, Leo and Ruby. You will hear them throughout most of my shows probably, so shout out to them. They like to get their royalties. They said they got to get on the mic somehow, so they overtake the show occasionally. I appreciate y'all for minding them. Once again, shout out to the sponsors and affiliates. Greenhawk Studio, our newest sponsor here on the Big D Show. Of course, you know our resident comedian Lawrence Green, the man, funny dude. That is his affiliation and his personal thing he's got going. Go check out their YouTube channel. Go subscribe. They are the newest sponsor here on the Big D Show, and of course at domosaurusrex.com. As we've always had down here on the Big D Show, the main reason we come to the Big D Show to make some money, and of course DraftKings and FanDuel have been rocking with us from the beginning. Use the link right here on the website. You see them both right there. And you can go ahead and win big with us today. We're going to give you the lineups to do so. All you got to do is play some sort of combination of the guys I'm going to give you, because I got a couple of lineups for each today. And, of course, DraftKings and FanDuel, a little bit of a different variation on exactly how you can assemble your lineups and their salaries and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. And last but not least, horseracingpark.com. If you've ever dreamed of having a virtual horse, or of breeding horses, racing horses, training horses, this is the place to do it. You can use the link right here at domosaurusrex.com as well, and you will go ahead and get a free farm and 5 virtual free horses just for signing up. So shout out to them for also sponsoring today's broadcast. I say let's get right into it today, folks. We're going to go ahead and give you our DraftKings lineups, because that's what people are here to see. That's what people want. So today, let's go to our DraftKings page. We have a possibility of winning $5,780 if we take first place in all of the above contests. And as you can see, we've got a list of them today. And I can actually reinvest, because we do have a couple of early action lineups, so I can go ahead and put some additional money into the Monday night games also. We do have a Monday night lineup, as you see up there at the top. So yeah, let's get right into it. go to our lineups here. So our first live action starts in about an hour. Let's go ahead. We got a couple of different lineups actually, so let's go check that out. Scroll over to the lineups page. And if you've never seen DraftKings, I'm showing you how to navigate through the pages right now, basically. So super easy there. And yeah, I've got a combination of some guys that you're going to try, and this is my DraftKings strategy personally. I like to try and mix and match the high tier players who are going to get big performances with guys who are kind of middle of the pack. I don't like to overload on high tier players. I like to see guys who are going to give you steady performance. Yesterday at work for me, I had a pretty good showing in college football yesterday, so hopefully we can replicate that in the NFL today. And let's get right to it. My first lineup for the full slate of today's games. At quarterback, I've got Dak Prescott going up against the Carolina Panthers. Personally, I think he's going to have a pretty nice day. He's got his running back, Ezekiel Elliott, back. They do have a great offensive line. New weapon to go along with him in Allen Hurns. I did go ahead and add him in this lineup as well. I think they might hit a deep shot tonight. And, of course, Dak Prescott, great value for what you could get possibly out of his running and throwing combination. Next, my big play of the day, Kenyon Drake, and you'll see him throughout a couple of the lineups. I think he is going to be very involved in this Adam Gase Miami Dolphins offense. Of course, he's going to be splitting time with Frank Gore, who might get a majority of kind of the shorter down carries. But Kenyon Drake, like I said, going to get a lot of the passing out of the backfield. He's going to be involved in the running game. They're going to find ways to get him the ball. He is their most explosive player from what I've seen early in the preseason. And, yeah, I see him having a pretty nice day, and especially for the price value, I think you can't go wrong picking him up. Shout out to Franco. What's up, Franco? Thanks for tuning in. If you are in the chat, be sure to hit up the chat room as well. Let us know where you're from, where you're watching, who you like today in your fantasy lineups. If you think I got somebody who's not going to have a good day and you think I should replace them with somebody else, let me know what you think. So, moving along, Christian McCaffrey, going to have a huge game tonight. He's so involved in the Panthers offense. He's in the return game occasionally as well. He could have a big night against the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game than people think. The Panthers are kind of racking up some offensive pieces now and starting to put it together as far as chemistry-wise, and Cam Newton is dangerous. I have him in another one of my lineups as well. So, Mike Evans, of course.
I got. Said you keep buffering.
I'm buffering?
Yeah.
All right, well, let me go ahead and try and
direct wire.
I am on the direct wire. We got a little bit of technical difficulties here. I think I was buffering because we were loading up the lineups page, so I appreciate Franco for the feedback. Thank you for looking out on that end. Let me know if it continues to happen, but I think we should be better now. So, yeah, Mike Evans today is my big play. I think he's going to be another huge involvement in the Bucs passing game this season. Look for him to get a majority of the receptions in the passing game today. Ryan Fitzpatrick, if he's smart, will continue to look for him. And I think that Saints-Bucs game is going to be a lot higher scoring than people think. The Bucs defense has improved this season, but I look for Fitzpatrick and the Bucs offense to have to try and keep up with the Saints offense, who is just so explosive, and I think the Bucs might have a little bit more of a difficult time defending them than people are thinking. So Mike Evans, look for him to have a big game in an effort to keep the Bucs in it. I already talked about Allen Hurns. Deshaun Jackson, another person in that Bucs offense, I think is going to have to kind of step up in order to keep them in the game today or give them a chance to win. Look for him to possibly hit a deep ball today with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I think they're going to have a little bit better of a play-action game this year. Peyton Barber finally getting the opportunity to kind of start and show what he's got. So look for them to kind of get that play-action game going. I think Deshaun Jackson could get a deep ball. Delaney Walker next at the tight end position. The dude is just absolutely off the chain as far as production, the amount of time he's been doing it. Of course, he started off with the Chargers, learning underneath Antonio Gates. He's now with the Titans, has been for the past couple seasons. He is by far and away Marcus Mariota's number one target. He's going to look for him constantly today against the Dolphins, and he's just such a tough matchup. Safeties are too small, linebackers are too slow. Look for him to get his work as always. And finally, in this lineup, I got a 2 tight end set going with Gronk against the Texans, another one of those tight end matchups. Tight ends are just they're hard to cover nowadays, folks. They're athletic. It's a premium position. If you've got a good one, you are going to be better than a majority of the other teams. Gronk, of course, considered probably the best tight end in the league, getting his full first run action of the season. Didn't really see him much in the preseason. Brady always will be looking to go to him, especially in the red zone. And a constant theme you'll see on defense today, I've got the Ravens D against the Bills, one of the lowliest offenses I think we've seen in recent years. Look for the Ravens to absolutely stomp the Bills today. As far as defensively, I'm not sure if the Ravens offense is going to be as impressive. They're still putting some pieces together. Is Flacco going to be executing the way he should be, especially with the pressure of Lamar Jackson looming over his shoulder? That's still to be seen, but their defense is easily going to keep them in the game today and give them the W against the Bills, who named Nathan Peterman their starter over their first-round draft pick, Josh Allen. So that shows you the disarray that team's in right now. Moving on to another lineup of the day, just kind of slotting in some other guys, giving you a little bit of variety if you want to pick and choose. I do like Dalvin Cook today, coming back off his ACL tear from last season. The coach is saying that he is not on a snap limit today. He's full go. You're going to see him in the passing game. You're going to see him in the running game against a team in San Francisco that's really not good at defending either. Look for Dalvin Cook to be a big weapon in today's game. Staying in that same game, Marquise Goodwin, low-key was a very good player for the San Francisco 49ers last season, one of Jimmy G's favorite targets. Look for him to be a value play first and foremost, but a guy who's going to get some good production today. If he can get you 6 or 7 catches and maybe a touchdown, I think that's huge out of that value spot. AJ Green playing against Indianapolis. I mean, who's really going to cover this guy? Unstoppable since he came into the league, one of the top 5 receivers, I think, in the league in general. This guy is going to put that Bengals offense on his back today and try and pull out a win. Don't know if they can pull out the W, but A.J. Green will definitely get his work in today, barring Andy Dalton can hit the broadside of a barn. But he did look good in the preseason. I expect him to play a very good game today. Moving on, another tight end, Jordan Reed, Washington Redskins. One of those guys who's just a good route runner, hard to guard, hard to cover. Look for him to go ahead and get some more work in today with a new quarterback in Alex Smith, who does favor his tight ends, as we saw with his time during Travis Kelce and the Chiefs. So, like I said, Ravens defense all the way today. And then moving into our early action, this is exclusive, the third lineup here on our screen to the right. Only the early players. I took Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like I said, I'm looking for that Bucs offense to score a lot today. Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette from the Jags. If you want a running back instead of the first 2 guys, instead of the guys I took in the first 2, if you don't like McCaffrey for whatever reason, Fournette's a little bit more expensive. You can kind of try and save somewhere else, but always going to get his production. Giants not necessarily very good against the run, and Tom Coughlin in that Jags offense is going to go ahead and try and pound the rock consistently over and over and over again to set up any sort of play-action pass for Blake Bortles, who's not an exceptional thrower. Look for them to establish Fournette early and often in this first game of the season. And another guy, if you don't want to go with, say, a Mike Evans or an A.J. Green in the first 2 lineups, Antonio Brown against the Browns. Everybody knows they're going to him. He's the Madden cover boy, but still he's absolutely unguardable as far as his quickness, his route running, his aggressiveness to the ball. He always plays like he's got a chip on his shoulder. The Browns, as I'm about to get into, they've won a game in 2 seasons, 1 game in 2 seasons. Until they prove themselves otherwise, I look for the Steelers to take a W, and Antonio Brown's going to have to be the main reason they do that today. Again, Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, we talked about him earlier. O.J. Howard, another weapon in the passing game. He's pretty much interchangeable with Cameron Brate, whichever one you might feel gets more opportunity. I think OJ Howard, for whatever reason, they've started to favor him in the red zone area more than Cameron Brate, who's kind of the first down type guy. So, and then again, Delaney Walker and the Ravens. Those are our NFL lineups for the day games. NASCAR Classic.
Rio Paris.
Shout out to my boy Rio Paris too. Thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody. If you are watching, go into the chat room. Say what's up. Say where you're at. I'll shout you out live on TV. That way, Coach doesn't have to keep coming back from his producer spot. Shout out to Coach in the producer spot. Killing it. I mean, look at the stream today, folks. I mean, it's the first episode and we still got a ways to go, but we've come a long way since our podcast. So thanks for everybody tuning in. And again, shout out Franco, shout out Rio. We got some music by Money Man coming up. We're going to extend past the 30 minutes because I can do that here. It's Twitch TV. I can do whatever the fuck I want. If you are underage and, I'm trying not to curse as much as possible. But once again, I come from a podcast format. So it's going to fly out every once in a while. If you do want to join the show, by the way, be sure to hit up Coach. If you have his information, be sure to get at him on Facebook, Gambino Puglisi. Just call him, and we'll put you live on the stream right now. So hit me up if you do want to get live on the stream. But getting back to our lineups for today, we're trying to win that $5,870. We're going for first place in 10 different lineups. We killed it yesterday in college football. Trying to keep the momentum going. Big NASCAR action today. Not just football, folks. NASCAR playoffs. I don't know why they extend the season so long to go into the football season, so they lose a lot of their viewers on the same day. But I don't plan it. I don't make that decision. I'm probably not going to watch the race today, but if you are, and I know I have a lot of viewers who do love NASCAR, AJ Allmendinger, Chris Buescher, my two value plays. Kyle Busch, starting in the pole. That guy's unbeatable. I think he takes the race today. Jimmy Johnson, I've seen all the commercials. He's been very motivated. He's been ready to go of late. Look for him to have a big race. Ricky Stenhouse has been impressing me all season. I watched a lot earlier in the year. I think he's probably going to continue that into this playoff run. And then Martin Truex Jr., one of those guys who, like a Ricky Stenhouse, was in that middle of the pack type area, but now has extended up into that top tier, really established himself as one of the best drivers on the circuit. Big day from him today. And finally, our last lineup to go over with today. Monday Night Football action. Matthew Stafford. Lions, Jets, we got Rams, Oakland. Those were the 4 games you have players to choose from. So I went with, of course, Matthew Stafford against the Jets. The Jets are terrible. Probably competing with the Browns for the worst team in the league this season. I don't care what everybody's saying about the Browns making all these improvements. I think that's Hard Knocks hype. Everybody was saying that about the Bucs last season, and we saw how that turned out. Look for the Browns, like I said, to not do much, but they're going to compete with the Jets for the worst team in the league this season. And the Lions, although they are not very good, are starting to lay the foundation for what is going to be in the future. Matt Patricia coming over from the Patriots. Look for him to, like I said, get this win in his first matchup. I like Matt Stafford to have a big game. He's one of the best throwers of the football in the league. He's got weapons. So moving on, Todd Gurley. That dude's an absolute beast. If I was starting a team, I would want him at my running back spot. Bilal Powell, underrated player from the Jets, one of those guys who just continually gets catches out of the backfield and produces. Wide receiver spots, we're going with Marvin Jones and Golden Tate to go with our quarterback, Matt Stafford. Cooper Kupp from the Rams, impressive in his rookie season last year. Look for the white boy to keep making moves and an effort to put the Rams over the top against John Gruden in the late game on Monday. Tight end spot and my flex spot went with 2 tight ends. Had to save some money because didn't have much of it left of it at this point. Wilson, the tight end for the Lions. Like I said, I like the Lions to steamroll the Jets. And Tyler Higbee, who started all 16 games last season for the Rams, Didn't really equate to a lot of passing yards and receptions or whatnot. He was mostly a blocker, but he will be on the field. If he can get some red zone action and get a touchdown, I think that's a good value play, especially for $3,000. So, and finally, the Rams defense. I like the Rams to steamroll Coach Gruden on his return to Monday Night Football. His colleagues from the booth will be watching. They will be saying, John, why did you leave the booth to come back to this? Will Coach Gruden physically and mentally be ready to be back on the sidelines for a full NFL season? It's yet to be seen, especially on a team in Oakland. It's not quite like being in Tampa. It's not as nice. It's not as, it's not as cush. It's not as, that fan base out there is a lot more serious than the one here in Tampa. So, they're going to be on him if he doesn't win and win immediately, especially with a team that's been successful the past couple seasons. I look for him to get some scrutiny from the press. Look for the Rams to blow them out on Monday Night Football. I think it's going to be 2 blowout games back-to-back. So anyways, those are our DraftKings lineups of the day. Be sure to use the promo code NEGDOG when you sign up, or just use the link at DomosaurusRex.com. We showed you that earlier. They are one of our prime sponsors here at our website and at the Big D Show. Here, real quickly, before we get into a song by Moneyman, our FanDuel lineups of the day. Our other platinum sponsor, been rocking with us since the beginning. Water break. As we go into the second quarter here. Tom Brady. I talked about it earlier. I like Gronk today. Tom Brady always going to light it up. Houston's not necessarily a great pass defense, although they do have some good pass rushers. Derrick Henry going to be a key component in that Titans running game. Dalvin Cook, we talked about it already. The guy's a monster coming off his ACL tear. He's going to be huge in the outlook of that Vikings offense, especially with Kirk Cousins making his debut as the starter. You like that? I think that was a good trade. I think the Redskins were stupid for letting him go. But moving on, Mike Evans. Michael Crabtree. We talked about Baltimore earlier. He's a guy who's been added to the team, gives Flacco another option. I like Crabtree to establish himself today. We talked about Cleveland. I think Jarvis Landry's a player who's, regardless of what team he's on, is just going to perform and play well. Look for him to have his performance today. We talked about the Howard and Brate situation earlier. I went with Brate on FanDuel. It's a little bit cheaper than Howard. And then finally Pierre Garçon with Jimmy Garoppolo back at the helm. Wants to hit a guy with some veteran experience, and Garçon's definitely one of the dudes to go ahead and lead that San Francisco passing attack this season. Ravens defense. And then in what is the secret entry here, secret free play, for those of you who didn't get into it, I got a special invitation here from FanDuel because of what I do for them and what they do for me, and I'm just very appreciative of it. So this is the lineup I'm going with in that. We talked about, I like Andy Dalton earlier with A.J. Green. He could put up some decent numbers. He's a good value play for me. I talked about Fournette and Henry already. Mike Evans, Jarvis Landry. Of course, Larry Fitzgerald, the guy's over 10 plus years now, just consistently been unguardable. He has the best hands in all of football of all time. I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. He drops 0 passes every season. Look for the Arizona offense to kind of lean on him in the passing attack, especially when they try and give David Johnson a break out of the backfield. We got Braid again. Juju Smith-Schuster, going to have to step up with Antonio Brown, probably going to get double teamed every play during the game. Look for him to kind of put the team on his back a little bit as far as a secondary option for the Steelers as well. Roethlisberger will be looking his way often in one-on-one coverage, especially going down the field. And finally, the Bengals defense against the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck in his first game back. Yet to be seen what he's going to do. I like the Bengals to kind of keep this one lower scoring. And those are our FanDuel picks of the day. We got a song right here by my dog Moneyman. Shout out to Moneyman Said Low for tuning in today. Shout out to everybody for tuning in today. If you would like your music played on a future episode of the show, be sure to hit me up at negdogstudios.com, at bigd813 at gmail.com, and also at drex813 at gmail.com, Twitter, Facebook. Go follow the YouTube channel, follow us here on Twitch, subscribe, become part of the notification squad so you don't miss a beat, and we will definitely be sure we get you all the latest and greatest from the independent music scene as well. Like I said, this is my dog Moneyman Sedlow from, where is he from? What is the county? Polk County, Florida, excuse me. I think it's Lakeland. I'm not sure if he's from Lakeland or whatnot, but I know he represents Polk County, Florida. My dog Moneyman Sedlow. This is that Do You. Underground Sports Network, the Big D Show. We will be right back. I just be doing me here on the Big D Show. It's your boy Domosaurus Rex, aka Big D, here live back on Twitch TV. And damn, my rhymes are fresh. Nah, I'm just playing. We're just playing around here on the Twitch TV channel here today. The first episode back here for the Big D Show. It is September the 9th, 2018. It's been over a year since we have been heard on our podcast version. We are back here live on Twitch TV. We just started to saying, you know what? Instead of going around the corner, around these different ways, we're just going live and direct, folks. And if you miss us live, be sure to check me out on YouTube. Follow the YouTube channel. But in order to not miss us live here on Twitch, just follow, subscribe, go ahead and become a part of that notification squad if you are on YouTube. And never miss a beat. See all the latest and greatest action, whether it be music, whether it be comedy. Shout out to Lawrence Green and Greenhawk Studios, our newest affiliate and sponsor here on the Big D Show. and at DomosaurusRex.com. Of course, go to DomosaurusRex.com to see all of our sponsors and affiliates, including NegDog.com, HorseRacingPark.com, FanDuel, DraftKings, Infidel Body Armor. We gave you all the links. We gave you everything at the beginning of the show. If you missed it, be sure to go back or just go to DomosaurusRex.com. Click on any of the links and you'll be sure to get an exclusive bonus you can only get for hanging out with us here on the show. So we gave you our DraftKings lineups and picks earlier. We gave you our FanDuel lineups and picks. It's time to get to Jimmy Knox's big book, exclusive from the Underground Sports Network. I got the tips here from Jimmy fucking Knox, folks.
Money Man.
All right.
Watching. What's up, Money Man?
Shout out Money Man. We just played that song. Do you?
Shout out J-Head.
Shout out to everyone watching here. Shout out Tampa Bay. Shout out, the Bucks. Like I'm Jameis Winston. We played it earlier here on the show. Who's your squad? Be sure to comment it here in the comments section. We're live here on Twitch TV. Like I said, I got the picks here today, straight from Vegas and the Underground Sports Network. My dude Jimmy Knox, we'll have him actually on the show here coming up. You won't ever see his face, but Jimmy Knox again. Probably next week. We hear Neg Dog. Is that confirmed? Next week probably.
Yeah, we got to get the studio set up for his.
So anyways, we will be back here. Jimmy Knox will be live here next week, but I have his notes and his picks here live from Vegas. So let's get right to it. Like I said, we're starting off with the Steelers and the Browns. I've talked about it already today. The Steelers, of course, the spread is 3.5. They are minus 200 if you are to bet them straight up to win. The Browns, they've played tough over the past 2 seasons. Coach Hugh Jackson is 1-31 in his past 2 years. Why they decided to keep him on for a 3rd season, I could not tell you, but they said at the beginning he had a 3-year plan. This is his last opportunity. I feel like the Steelers are not the team you want to open up the season against. I don't care if they have Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. I don't care if Franco Harris is in the backfield. You don't want to play them at any point to open up the season unless Tommy Maddox is slinging the rock there, because they sucked for like 2 seasons. But Big Ben back under center. Antonio Brown, we talked about it earlier in the video here. The Madden cover boy. This guy is just absolutely unstoppable as far as guarding wise. Who on Cleveland's going to be able to handle him? We saw them in Hard Knocks. Nobody can cover Jarvis Landry out there, so who's going to cover Antonio Brown? They're going to double team him all game. Juju Smith-Schuster is going to get some one-on-one opportunities. James Conner, the former Pitt Panther, playing in front of his home crowd after surviving cancer, getting a starting opportunity with Le'Veon Bell missing out on his $850,000 game check, which, by the way, if you want to donate that to the Big D show, just go to the DomosaurusRex.com, and you can go straight to my PayPal link and give me your game check, Le'Veon. I will take it, sir. Look for them to cover big today. My prediction on the score is 28-17. Jimmy Knox, gave me the info. Take the Steelers minus 3.5. You're going to be sitting pretty. Next game on the docket. Let's get it up here on the Gamecast screen for everybody. We got the Bucks and the Saints. Of course, got to talk about the hometown team for my fan base here in Tampa. Like I'm Jameis Winston sitting out this week. Of course, the big controversy in the offseason for the Bucks was the fact the Uber driver incident. Came down with the hammer from Roger Goodell. He's out the first 3 games. Ryan Fitzpatrick starting for the Buccaneers. And we talked about it earlier in the show. I like for this game to be pretty high scoring. Everybody's talking about the Bucs defense and their defensive line, which is vastly improved from last season. But the Bucs are playing the Saints, folks. And as we see here, a lot of people like the Saints to take the victory, 81% in fact here on the matchup predictor according to ESPN. But the Bucs are going to play tough. That's going to be right up from the beginning. I'm not sure if they're going to take the W today, but they are plus 10, which I think is an absurd line, especially going into the Superdome. Mercedes-Benz Superdome there in New Orleans, where the Bucks, for whatever reason, consistently always either take home a victory or keep it really close against the Saints. We always see it. Dome sweet dome's not necessarily the case when the Bucks go travel out there. Look for Breeze and the Saints to put up a lot of points, but I think the Bucks have the offensive weapons, especially with Fitzpatrick in his second season in this Buccaneers offense. Started a lot of games last year with Jameis Winston out. He's going to lead this team. He's going to be a steady presence. He's been taking all the first-team reps in the preseason. Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans. The Bucks are going to keep it close. I don't think they can pull out the W, but Chandler Catanzaro, the new kicker, will at least, make them not the laughingstock of the league special teams wise. They take home the cover today. They're going to cover that spread at least. 31-35 is my prediction. I think the Saints are going to take the win at home, but like I said, probably an easy cover today for the Bucks, and that is my prediction. And of course, Jimmy Knox, like I said, the guy's been on fire. He gave me my picks yesterday for college football. I gave them to you. My only pick from college football yesterday was a bust, so I apologize about that if you were watching on our Facebook live stream. You got to make up for it today. Take this parlay. Steelers,
It was an
Bucks.
upset Saturday.
It was a crazy Saturday in
How about
college
them
football.
Wildcats from Kentucky?
Kentucky breaking a 31-year streak over the Florida Gators. I know Gators fans are throwing their jerseys into the dumpster fires. That is the situation up there in Gainesville.
What if they're Nike jerseys?
They're definitely getting burned up there in Gainesville. Alrighty, so getting to our last game of today, we got the Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins. This one is kind of a toss-up game according to most predictions here. Pretty much split right down the middle, a little bit of a slight edge to the Tennessee Titans according to ESPN here over the Dolphins. But the Dolphins are favored according to Vegas by 1 point. They are the home team. Reinserting Ryan Tannehill back into the lineup, I don't know, how effective he's going to be. That's, yet to be seen. Getting his full-time action back into the football realm here. They did play with Jay Cutler last season. It was kind of ugly at times, but they still weren't that bad. So I feel like getting Tannehill back to full strength is going to make the Dolphins a vastly improved team this season. And like I said, I do love Kenyon Drake today against the Titans defense to have a big game receptions-wise, running the ball. Him and Frank Gore, of course, are splitting reps. But like I said, a good value play out of Kenyon Drake. I think the Titans are too much to handle in this one. A playoff team from last season. They've got a lot more experience. The whole team's back, basically. Mariota's back at the helm. A lot of Bucs fans in this offseason were upset, saying that they should have took Mariota instead of Jameis Winston. Possibility. Titans fans, ecstatic they've got Mariota. They've got Delaney Walker again. Derrick Henry, Kenyon Drake's teammate at Alabama, stepping into the starting role this season with DeMarco Murray retiring this past offseason. The guy's a beast. Absolute monster. He's ginormous for a running back. He's damn near the size of a defensive end. I believe he's like 6'3", 250, somewhere in that range. The guy's massive. He's going to run through tackles. He's going to be the leaning force for Tennessee today. They're going to run a lot of play action with Mariota, especially his mobility, getting him outside of the pocket. They're going to look for Delaney Walker deep on the corner route, up the seam. I think they're going to be too much to handle. I do like Tennessee to cover the +1 spread today, of course, and I do like them to actually take home the win, 27-21. Tennessee over the Dolphins in Miami today. And then just wrapping up the last of the picks here on the Big D Show before we call it for the day here, before we get week 1 started. Getting into it, San Francisco versus Minnesota. I like the Vikings at home. They're going to be tough. San Francisco, Jimmy G, they get their first loss with him as their quarterback. Cincinnati versus Indy. I like the Bengals, even though they're going into Indianapolis. They have their starting unit that's been cohesive and been together. Marvin Lewis back for yet another season as the Bengals head coach. Indy finally getting Andrew Luck back, but after a full season with Jacoby Brissett as their starter. Who knows how they're really going to mesh. Their offensive line still not really the greatest. I do like the Bengals to take home that one. Buffalo and Baltimore, we talked about this the whole stream. Baltimore, I like them to take home the win today over Buffalo, who is in absolute disarray. The Jets, Browns, and Buffalo. Who's going to get the first pick next season is the biggest question there. Jacksonville and the Giants. The Giants are going to be much improved. Getting Beckham back. Of course, Saquon Barkley inserted into the lineup. I like Jacksonville, AFC Championship team from last season. Only going to get better on offense with another year together with all their weapons. And, of course, Fournette going to run through that porous Giants defense. I like the defense to kind of contain the Giants' explosive offense, which should be better this season, of course, with Eli Manning back at the helm. Giants take the L here. The Jaguars, Tom Coughlin, he's the man. He's going to take down his former team. Houston and New England. Houston, Deshaun Watson back, the exciting young player. They were undefeated with Watson as their quarterback last season, but they are going against the Patriots, the losers of the Super Bowl last season. I like for them to be a strong contender to go back to the Super Bowl this year. New England takes home the victory. And then the 4 o'clock games, we got KC versus the Chargers. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes in his first game starting. I think they take the L in this one. The Chargers looking to kind of improve on last season and make a run up the AFC West standings. This would be a good momentum shift for them early in the season to take that advantage over KC. Phillip Rivers looking to become one of the all-time greatest, just continuing to have steady production. He's got weapons on the outside. I look for them to take this win over the Chiefs, especially at home out there in their new LA facility. Dallas and Carolina. I got the Cowboys over the Panthers. Like we talked about earlier, Dak Prescott should have a big game with Ezekiel Elliott back. This is that team that was together 2 seasons ago before Elliott had gotten suspended. You'll see them look cohesive and like that squad that we saw from a couple of years before. Offense will be much harder to stop. Defense, of course, kind of iffy with the Cowboys as always, but shout out to Ike Royal. How about them Cowboys? They do take home the victory today. Washington and Arizona, teams with new quarterbacks going to new places. This one's really going to come down to defense and the running game. I think that Arizona has the better of both with David Johnson and a team that has been consistently good on defense for about the past 5 or 6 years. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, look for him to make a big play today, a splash play as they like to call them. Look for him to get a turnover on a fumble or an interception, and that'll really be the difference in that one, I think. Alex Smith will look good as Washington's new quarterback, though. Seattle and Denver. Denver is a team that has a great defense, but I don't think has the offensive firepower to put it together. Both of their quarterbacks haven't really looked good in the preseason. They don't know. I mean, I don't even know who's starting at quarterback for them today, to be honest. Is it Lynch or Simeon? Simeon's not even there anymore, is he? Yeah, situation there at the quarterback position for the Broncos is very iffy to me, especially against a team in Seattle who's got Russell Wilson, an MVP candidate every season. Defense isn't quite as good, but we'll see Pete Carroll manage to find a way to put that one together. I like the Seahawks to take home the victory today. In the night game, you know who I got, the Bears and the Packers. The Pack's a 7-point favorite. I'm taking the Bears. I'm putting it on the record, too. I don't give a shit what anybody has to say about it. If I take the L, that's on me. Mitch Trubisky, vastly improved offense. The defense in their 3rd season under Coach Vic Fangio. Aaron Rodgers coming back off injury. They've got some new pieces in there. I don't know if they're really going to put it together the first game, even if it's in Lambeau. The Bears are one of the favorites for a lot of people this season to make the team or to make a wild card push. I know I sound like a homer, especially here in all Bears gear, but bear down, Chicago Bears. I'm taking the Bears. And then, of course, Monday Night Football. We talked about it already. Detroit over the Jets. Matt Patricia's first game, becoming the Lions head coach since coming over as the Patriots defensive coordinator. Look for them to look good in their first game against the dumpster fire that is the New York Jets. Sam Darnold, though, I do like their future with him. He looked really good in the preseason. But he's going to be facing a first-team defense for the first time. And Matt Patricia is definitely a coordinator that you don't want to face in your first game. And then finally, the Rams over the Raiders. John Gruden takes the L on Monday Night Football in front of his old job, and you're going to hear about the scrutiny all week on that one. So Rams over the Raiders as the Rams continue to push to be one of the best teams in all of the NFL. Shout out to Jimmy Knox for his picks. The Steelers -3.5. We like the Bucks +10, and we like the Titans +1 on the road against the Dolphins. Once again, I'm your boy Big D. This has been the Big D Show, live here on Twitch TV on the Domosaurus Rex channel. And if you haven't put it together yet, once again, the big secret is out. We are one and the same.
Like that was a big secret.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew. It's official. It's out there. Go to DomosaurusRex.com. Big shout out to all the sponsors and affiliates. Greenhawk Studios, our newest sponsor. Go check out their YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, follow. Of course, our boy Lawrence Green is one of the partners with that. So go check them out. DraftKings, you can go back and watch the video to see who my lineups of the day were. FanDuel, and of course, negdog.com and horseracingpark.com. They've been there since the beginning, supporting me and the show and the music. Upcoming shows, Negdog, can you give us the details?
September 16th, Club Pachanga.
September 16th, Club Pachanga. That's King Kago Entertainment.
Superstar Rated R.
The Superstar DJ Rated R, best known for his song In Here Tonight, which was featured on Malibu's Most Wanted. For those of you who don't know where that song came from, one of the biggest songs to ever come out of Tampa. He will be the DJ that night. I will be performing. Shout out to Richie Rich and King Kago on that one. And my new CBD water sponsor. Quantum is the name of that. So shout out to them as well. We'll get them up on the website soon. And then what's the next show we got?
Then you got October 27th at the Blue Note.
October 27th, the Blue Note, Ybor City, Florida. It's gonna be lit. Costume party, $50 to the best costume. We're gonna have people coming from all over, from Fort Myers, from Jacksonville, Orlando, from Nashville. We got a Canadian DJ coming. We got I think Keno 18 might be making an appearance there. So that's yet to be seen, but he's a worldwide DJ as well. Shout out Keno 18. Damn it, we wish Rio Paris could make it. Shout out Rio Paris. He's out there in LA. But there will be food. There's going to be drinks. Like I said, $50 to the best costume. Big things in the works. Go to DomosaurusRex.com. You'll get all the information on everything. Go buy the merch. Go support direct on PayPal, all that good stuff. And, yeah, like I said, go support on DraftKings and FanDuel. I gave you the winning picks already. Go make the money, and let's do the damn thing. Come back, support, donate, and we'll keep winning together here on the Big D Show. Domosaurus Rex Twitch TV channel. Happy football. It is week 1. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Like I'm fucking Jameis Winston. I like the Bucks to cover today. And, yeah, shout out to your favorite team. Good luck. I don't care who it is. Everybody's got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. It's week 1, unless you're the Jets, Browns, or one of the other teams I mentioned. Oh, everybody Buffalo. Yeah, but nah, except Buffalo, the Jets, and the Browns. You guys suck. But anyways, good luck to your team. Shout out to everybody supporting.